a lot of people felt you beat Vasily Lomachenko, but I would imagine do you feel you're extremely close to getting a title shot?
Yes, yes, I do. I do. I feel like I'm right there. I'm right there this year for sure. This
Yeah.
year for sure.
Who do you envision yourself? Do you envision Haney staying at 135 and you getting that crack, or do you think he's going to move up and those titles are going to kind of disperse everywhere?
Uh, that'll be tough to say. I don't know what Devin Haney's next moves are, but if he does stay at 135, I think it will be a great fight for me. And if he moves up to 140, then the belts are vacated, and I'll fight Stevenson for a belt. I could fight Kambosos for a belt. Who else is up there? Whoever there's ranked, but most definitely for sure. Hopefully by the end of the year, I get a crack at the title.
I would imagine you want another crack at Vasily, right?
Oh, if he gives me the opportunity, yeah. If there's a title on the line, I think he'll be pleased to run it back. It'll be a good fight for the fans, good fight for me.
Yeah, speaking of Haney, what'd you make of the fight? You fought Vasily, you had a lot of success with him. Devin did have success against Vasily as well. What would you think overall of how the fight was fought between both of them?
I had to rewatch the fight 2 times. So as I was watching it, honestly, before the fight, just to make things clear, I thought Haney was gonna pull it out. I thought he was gonna have the edge while I was watching it live. I was surprised, and I had Lomachenko winning the fight. I scored it 7-5. I rewatched it. They were definitely close rounds, but at the end of the day, even with the close rounds, I give Loma the rounds because ring generalship. It just felt like Loma was able to do what he wanted at will versus Devin Haney when he was scoring shots. There were one shots at a time, and they were more of like trying to get out the way. Besides the right upper, that was a very intentional shot from him. That was a very intentional shot from him. But besides that, I just felt like all his other shots were trying to get out the way in a survival mode.
Yeah, a lot of people have rewatched the fight, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they felt that Devin won.
Okay. Not for me. I rewatched it. It was definitely close, but I still give the slight edge to Lomachenko.
So, Lomachenko didn't get the decision. Haney retains the belts. With the judging, curious, a lot of people felt you got a bad decision against Lomachenko. Lomachenko now gets a bad decision. I guess, what do you make of that?
It's boxing. It's boxing. We've seen it how many times before have we seen this? We talk about it all the time. How many times have we seen this? Unless something changes with commissions and we unionize something, it's gonna keep happening.
Why do you feel that it does keep happening, and what should be done so decisions like this don't happen, in your opinion?
It's money. Money rules it all. It's how are these TV networks or these promoters going to make the biggest money, and it's obviously setting the biggest fights, and sometimes it's setting up fighters for that bigger fight. One that's going to draw more attention, one that's going to draw more pay-per-views, one that's going to bring in more money. And at the end of the day, that's what it is.
And how does that, I guess, stop so that the fighters get a fair shake?
I was thinking sometimes we have to have us as fighters sometimes be the judges of these fights. Learn us as fighters, like take classes and learn how to, be like professional judges, and sometimes have former fighters just be judges and have us more involved in the actual fight business. A lot of times in the fight business, it's people who've never had their hands, never been punched in the face, never been professional fighters or amateur fighters, and maybe having more of us and having that feeling of we've been robbed and we know what it's like. Maybe that could shift a little bit.
Who had a better fight against Vasily, you or Devin?
I feel like I had a better fight against Loma. I felt like if you're gonna compare the two, I feel like I have more convincing and clear winning rounds than Devin Haney did on Loma.
Based on that, a lot of people have suggested or wonder, where does Loma go from here? And is he starting to show a little bit of age now, given, these performances? I would imagine you would say like, no, I'm just that damn good. But what do you make of that? Do you feel that Vasily is getting, older away from what he was a few years ago with, this fight with Devin and the fight that he had with you and others?
I don't. People was trying to say that when he fought me, and that's probably why Devin wanted to give him that fight real quick, right? But compare the fight before he fought me. When he fought what's his name? Who did he fight before me?
Look it up. I forget who it was. It was the
Anyways,
Japanese.
the dude,
No. It was
no,
Comey.
Comey. When he fought Comey, nobody was saying that. He looked amazing against Comey. Did he not? Nobody was saying that. And then 10 months later, he fights me. He doesn't look good now. He's getting old. Then he fights Devin Haney, and he looks back to his old self doing angles and throwing a whole bunch of punches. No, he's not. To me, he's not. Obviously, age plays a role, but Lomachenko hasn't even showed that in fights. And then they want to say that against me, but no, I made him look like that because I knew I was always going to beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a guy that I used to watch so much that I just knew I could beat him. Not because I didn't think less of him, but because I watched him and liked him so much that I just knew that I was going to beat him. I knew that since I was young.
So, what happens from here, in your opinion, with this fight? Say you get the victory. In an ideal situation, if you could pick and you had the power to be like, I go into this fight, what should be the next fight, logical fight for you?
I'll say, give me a title eliminate. I need to be lined up for that belt. I need that belt this year. Give me somebody that I could get the title shot, and maybe, like I said, Kambosos or Shakur.
Dang, a lot of people aren't wanting to have fights with Shakur. Why do you want to have a fight with Shakur?
It's all about being a legend. There's two ways you could play this game. You could do it in the sense of obviously there's the business perspective and dragging it out, which is always a good move. But I always think about why I got into boxing and why I do this. I do it to become a legend in the sport. I do it to eventually become a Hall of Famer, to be considered one of the best. And that's my push to do it. If it's for money, I'd rather go be a doctor. I'll go do something else for money. I really would. Not saying that I don't want to be compensated for my work. Of course, I want to be compensated for my work. Of course. And I'm going to try my best to run up these pay-per-view numbers and do what I can if I become a pay-per-view fighter. But first and foremost, I definitely want to be remembered. That's, to put all my life on the line. And when it's all said and done and I'm one of these fighters who's been forgotten, I'm not doing that. I've risked too much of my life to be forgotten. I'm going to make sure I'm remembered, that I'm going to fight the best and I'm going to beat the best.
I really, really like the fight with you and George Kambosos. I think that's a very action-friendly fight, just given from on the surface, both your guys' styles.
Yeah. It'll be a good fight.
Given that, I got to ask you, in the main event next Saturday, we're seeing Teofimo and Josh Taylor. Do you have a dog in the fight? Do you want to see, Teo or Josh win? And who do you think is going to win?
I don't care which one of them wins. If you ask me, I'm picking Taylor to win.
Why are you picking Josh Taylor?
I don't know. I just think Josh Taylor's gonna come out with the victory.
Yeah, well, what do you see there, man? Let me know. You got to let us, the insight there.
I don't know. I just think Teofimo was my. And in this sport, it's all mental, man. We all train hard. We all put in the miles. We all work hard. There's no doubt about it. It's we all working very hard. But then it comes down to the mind. And Teofimo was always talking about mind this, mind that, but I don't know where his mind's at. And I don't know him personally like that, but just the way he be sounding cuckoo sometimes. He be sounding crazy. So we'll see where his mind's at. And he's been a lot of times personal issues. It depends how strong is he mentally to put his personal things aside and take care of business that's in front of him.
If he's a mentally okay Teo, like he's good here, do you feel it's a different outcome then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. It's all mental for me. You know, it's who shows more mental strength at the end of the day. You know.
So if Teo's 100% mentally okay, he wins the fight. But if not, you feel that Taylor's going to get a resounding win over him.
Yeah.
Does it go the distance at all, in your opinion, knowing boxing, knowing the styles of both?
If it goes, it could go the distance. But if there's gonna be a knockout, Taylor's gonna knock out Teofimo.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
But if not, it's gonna go to decision.
Yeah, because a lot of people would say, Teo's the what do they say? The fast twitchy guy, the guy that has the one punch KO power. If someone were to get a knockout, it would be him, right?
Yeah. I always like betting on the underdogs. Like if I'm
Yeah.
betting or doing anything, I always look at what's gonna give me that upside. So that's how I'm always going. I'm always going with what's gonna give me the highest upside.